What's up, guys? It's Jonathan with One Big Impact. So I'm here in Medellin, Colombia, and I've actually been doing lots of training. But more recently, I'm getting a lot of individuals, maybe including yourself, that follow me on YouTube that are asking the questions. Hey, I'm getting to a different stage of everything and I'd like to know how to build muscle. So this video is going to be actually probably about 5 to 10 tips that really need to be taken very seriously when you are on any type of muscle building program. First, and probably the most important thing, is consistency. Consistency in training. A lot of people will kind of accidentally fall into the category of their protein intakes. So consistency of training. And really? A bird? I haven't heard a bird in 2 weeks since I've been here, and then boom, all of a sudden. No, but consistency in training. You need to be consistently training. At least, I would say 3 times a week would be probably where you want to start. Now, you could even go like 2 times a week in the beginning if you want, but consistently 2 times would start it out, 3 times after a few months. I'd say up to 4 and 5 times per week after that, but you have to be consistent. Your muscles are growing only because you are putting an intense overload over a long period of time on them. Hypertrophy is what is the basic understanding of muscle building and the process of muscle building. One of them is when the muscle belly gets larger. In order to see that response, it's about 6 to 8 weeks is going to be the soonest that it starts happening. Doesn't mean you're going to get super swole in 6 to 8 weeks, but in 6 to 8 weeks, your muscles are going to start to respond in a positive muscle building action. So that being said, you have to be consistently training throughout that whole process. You can't just think, I'm going to wake up today and my muscles are going to be bigger and I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to be consistent. It's really important. Consistency is absolutely number one. The next thing is protein. Protein is, and it's debatable, but I would say a good general rule of thumb is if you weigh 250 pounds, you need 250 grams of protein. If you weigh 150 pounds, 150 grams of protein. Now you're probably saying, how does that equate? What does that actually look like? So 150 grams of protein is going to be 3 6-ounce servings of chicken breast. That's it. 50 grams of protein each, and you're done. Don't make it overcomplicated, but dive into your macros and understand them because it's going to be a huge and pivotal point of your muscle building program. The next thing is, if you're trying to build muscle, you shouldn't be doing tons of cardio. Now, if you're a insane bodybuilder or something like that and you're on stage, you may be like IFBB or something, you may be doing an hour or 2 of cardio a day, because you're trying to trim off fat and stuff like that. But that's totally different. For the average person that's trying to put on size, you want to limit the amount of cardio that you do because they're completely counterproductive for each other and it's not going to help you build muscle. Because one is the preservation of calories and everything and the other one is the expenditure. So don't do them hand in hand. That's why they do a bulking phase in which you build muscle and a cutting phase in which you decrease the amount of fat on your body. Okay, so as far as post-workout, pre-workout, or anything like that, you can do protein 30 to 60 minutes before you work out. You can also more importantly, I would do a protein, carbs, and maybe some creatine, maybe even a little caffeine right after your workout because that caffeine is actually going to help shuttle all of that into your body. Now, technically, if you're low carb, I would be really careful. And low carb and huge muscle building, it's debatable, but like honestly, if you're looking to train hard, you're looking to train heavy, and you're looking to keep up with 2-hour workouts every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, even 4 days a week for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, an hour and 45 minutes or whatever, you're going to need some carbohydrates. You're going to need probably about 2 grams per pound of body weight. Now that can be careful of where you're at versus what you're trying to do, because if you're trying to cut, you want to cut back on carbs. Don't cut back too fast. I just made that mistake actually, because then you're just flat. You have nothing left to be able to push weight and stuff like that. But protein, carbs, creatine about 30 to 60 minutes after your workout, because then it gets shot into your glycogen stores and filled up those muscle bellies, and you're not breaking down protein you're not using the muscle as a fuel because you hurried up and got that. That's why a lot of people take protein shakes. A lot of people do it for the taste, but other people that know what they're doing will do a fast digestive protein shake like a whey protein or something like that. to be able to shoot into their muscle real quick. Now remember, you don't need to be eating those at the gym. You don't need, or drinking those at the gym. You don't need to be drinking them other times. I would say unless you're like really familiar with what you're doing and your macros are really high, maybe 1 in the morning to just wake that up because you were fasted all night. And then if you're building muscle, it would be right after your workout as well. Something else that's really overlooked is water intake. You need to be able to be hydrated to be able to build muscle. You got to remember, you're doing something that is not natural for your body to do. You're kind of forcing a process on it to have these big, huge physiques and everything that all these people have, and to be swole or whatever. It's not a natural thing. So you're actually pushing your body, manipulating your hormones, and doing all these things. So if your body's stressing because it's dehydrated and things, first of all, you're not going to feel that full effect or whatever. But it's also not good because your body's going to be fighting against dehydration, and it's going to be focusing on, hey, I'm undernourished, I don't have the water that I need to be able to do this process. So I recommend drinking water before your workout, during your workout, after your workout, and all throughout the day. Drink your damn water. Compound exercises. They are really important, and there's a difference between, there's 2 different types of exercises. Well, I mean, there's different types. We're not going to go into that. But basically, you have compound exercises, compound movements, and isometric or isolation exercises. Isolation exercises. Compound movements are going to be things like the squats, deadlifts, bench press. Isometric movement or isolation movements or exercises are going to be things like leg extensions, leg curls, chest flies, and things like that, as far as like on a machine and things like that. You really need to focus on those big body movements. Now, you don't want to overdo it because this can really take a huge tax on your nervous system and things like that. But you do want to do these huge lifts as much as possible. First of all, the most important thing that you need to realize is when you're doing a huge deadlift, that's going to be working so many of those big body parts, like your legs, your back. Squats are going to be working your core, everything. Just everything is fired up. You know, when you do a bench press, it's not just your chest, it's your deltoids, it's your back, it's your triceps, it's everything. So those compound movements are moving or signaling or firing off more body parts at once. An isolation exercise like a leg extension or something like that is great for quad development, but remember, it's only quad development. So there's not going to be any calves involved, there's not going to be any back involved or whatever. So you really need to focus on those compound movements, keep an eye on where you're at, and work towards slowly building your process. And remember, always don't focus on, when you're building muscle, stop focusing on the amount of weight you can lift. Focus on these 2 things, the amount of intensity that you can create with whatever amount of weight. Because I can put 2 25-pound plates on either side of a bench press, or I can put 2 45-pound plates on each side instead of, so I can go either 95 or I can go to like 225. And I guarantee you I can get a more intense workout with those 25s if I just go 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up. Oh my gosh, by like 10 sets, you're shredded. You're just ripped to pieces as far as like tearing down those muscle fibers and everything like that. So don't always think more is better. It really isn't, because the problem with that, thinking that type of mentality is, yeah, you might be at 255 today, but if you're trying to lift it for 3 times, you're not going to break down any muscle. You're not going to rebuild any muscle because you only lifted it 3 times. And then next week, what are you going to do? You're going to go up to 265, and then you can't lift, but 1 time. That's not going to do anything. It's great for powerlifting, but it's not going to be able to build muscle. You need to break that muscle down, break it down. So always remember, you don't have to keep going up so fast. If you're going up and having gains with deadlift, squats, or anything like that, or bench press, try to focus on them, once every 6 months. Try to have huge increases. Or once a year or something like that, go back in to lift higher. Because over time, you will naturally get stronger. But every single week, you're not going to see massive strength gains. And if you get that type of mentality, you're going to constantly get discouraged because you can't lift more. So don't think like that. two last things, okay? These are really important. I'm naturally a hyperactive person, so I have a hard time kind of sitting still. I will say, I focused very, very much on my last muscle building program and I went for, I think it was about 18 weeks, and I focused a lot on relaxing, not overdoing the cardio and stuff like that. I may have put on a little bit more weight than I had anticipated, but the muscle really came with it. I focused on not doing extra things, not doing extra exercises and stuff like that. I got my muscle building. I saved 100% of my energy for the gym. Now, the other thing is you need to actually get rest. Rest and sleep are totally different things. The rest is what I talked about first. Just kind of chill, relax, save your energy, focus on, your training and you're building muscle and things like that. Get in that, mindset. But sleep is totally different. And sleep, I sleep between about 3 to 4 hours every night, and it's very sporadic, 15 minutes. I never really get into a REM sleep. I've done tons of studies, sleep studies and stuff like that. I don't have sleep apnea or anything. It just doesn't work. But when I'm building muscle, I will purposely lay down each day and take like an hour or 2 hour nap. Weirdly enough, when I take a nap, I sleep hard. When I sleep at night, I sleep very light and it's up and down. So incorporate naps if you don't get enough sleep at night. Make sure you're getting your 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And if you can't get it, take something, to maybe talk to your doctor or something like that, because rest is when your body kind of regenerates. If you're lifting heavy, you're lifting hard, your body needs to be able to restore all of those hormone levels and everything like that. It's not that you're going to lose weight or build muscle or anything, blah, 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 but it's your body's time to kind of recharge and get going again. I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, please leave a comment in the section below. Please also like, share, and comment and subscribe. We love to hear all about your journey. If you are new here, please check us out on Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. If you're looking for training in the local Arizona area, or, well, I'm in Colombia right now, so but I'll only be here for a couple more weeks. But if you need a personal trainer and you're looking for somebody that has lost, 150 pounds and knows what the struggle is like, I'm the guy, okay? I'm the guy to help you out. I do this because I love helping people. And it is important because nobody was there to help me. So also check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I will put a link in the description below. I'll also put a link in the description below to some simple things like protein, maybe like a protein shaker or whatever. But I would say like protein isolate that I used throughout my whole process, and I'm actually getting maybe ready to go into another bulking phase. But I've seen some really good products out there. But remember, these 3 supplements are the only supplements that I would probably ever recommend, and just use them smartly, okay? Don't overdo the protein shakes. Protein shakes, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, to kind of flavor up your water or whatever, and the other thing is creatine. Beyond that, maybe a daily vitamin or something like that, some fish oil, but I would really say don't go crazy. Your life is not worth dying because of steroid use or something like that. You guys keep up the good work. Hashtag be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate, and thank you so much for all the support. Peace.